Hi there Wargamers, today we're going to take a look at the Tier 4 German tech tree cruiser Karlsruhe. Let's start by taking a quick look at the equipment setup and the commander skills. I guess the main point to note is that it's only a 5-point captain. In terms of matchmaking, there are only Tier 3 and Tier 4 ships involved. That's good for Karlsruhe, she's not a great ship at this level. Now Karlsruhe actually was a real ship that served during World War I, eventually ended up being scuttled at Scapa Flow. Now let's start with an inspirational quote from Arleigh Burke. "This ship is built to fight, you'd better know how." Now that's kind of appropriate for Karlsruhe. Any ship that you play in that has some limitations, you need to know how to play within those restrictions. So in Karlsruhe, I like to try and use island cover to protect myself during the game. So let's head for the B cap initially. Now, if you take a look at the mini-map, you can see that there are plenty of islands there that we can use for cover. Okay, so we have some aircraft incoming, but fortunately we have the Gisano to our port beam. Now looking at the initial deployment of the friendly team, we can see that guys are generally going to capture points based upon their spawn position. Now that works for me initially until we see how the enemy has deployed their forces. Now the Nassau is a bit slow in terms of firing up the engine, so it means we're a bit light at the A cap, so let's just message the team to ensure that everyone's aware. Some more aircraft incoming. It looks like we're going to benefit from the position of Gisano once again. Now we can see the enemy Danny on the minimap approaching the B cap. Now, German cruisers in general have good armor-piercing armament, so let's load that up and see if we can do some damage to the Danny. No great shake so far, and with destroys in the cap as well, I'm going to switch back to high explosive. Also, I'm showing too much broadside here and I don't want to get whacked, so I'd better start turning away. Now there's some irony. Switch to high explosive, hit the Danny, get an incapacitation starter fire and a citadel. He's regretting his life choices, and oh, someone's just eaten the face off of that Wix. So some good damage to start with. No ship sunk so far, but we hold 2 of the caps. That's a good start. Now if you can't take a cap, then the next best option is actually to deny it to the enemy, but both myself and Gisano have backed away from the B cap now, giving the enemy an opportunity. Now that looks likely to be an extra opportunity now because the enemy's starting to flip the A cap now. Meanwhile, well done to the friendly Wyoming for taking down the enemy Danny. Now, if we don't do something here, we could end up being one cap down versus the enemy. So it's time to get back to the B cap and see if we can flip it back in our direction. Now, it would help if our friendly ships in the C cap started to make their way towards B. We actually took that cap almost 2 minutes ago. Oh, well done. Someone just got a good reset on the A-cap to prevent the enemy capturing that. Okay, I need to get turned away here with the South Carolina there. Don't want to offer a broadside because she could remove me from the battle with a single shot. Okay, Shenyang puts down the enemy wicks, and Gusano's pushed past me into the cap now to contest against South Carolina. If we take a look at the mini-map, we can see the enemy starting to push out of the A cap now. Now take a look at this. South Carolina is getting toasty now.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Speaking of getting toasty, check out the enemy Kaiser. Oh, and that is one low HP destroyer. Let's see if we can get some damage onto her. Now you can see at distance these are very floaty shells, so it takes some adjustments I'm getting used to. Okay, Kaiser's down now, and looking at the mini-map, it looks like we got good strength around the B cap. Now let's go and take that sucker back. Right then, Wix is down, so that's the last of the enemy removed from the B cap, so we should be able to take that now. That would give us cap advantage, and we already have significant ship and points advantage. Now the last thing we want to do here now is provide another video for Jingle's Game of Thrones series. Now I'm letting the rest of my team know in chat now that there's no need for us to be aggressive and try to push into A. We can sit back behind island cover and pick the enemy off as they try to push to B. Being in command of the Karlsruhe, by the way, means that you do have to wait for the enemy to push significantly because it has limited range. I believe only the Svetlana has a lower artillery range at this level. Now let me see if I can find a firing position sheltered behind an island. I should mention, by the way, and you can see it in the options at the bottom of the screen here, Karlsruhe is the first ship in the cruiser line, the German cruiser line, that actually has torpedoes. Haven't had the opportunity to use them in this battle. I wasn't happy about pushing in versus the South Carolina to try and use them there. Now for me, I don't try to force a position where I can use the torpedoes. in my hands, they're more opportunistic. If the opportunity presents, then I'll use them. Okay, once again, looking at the mini-map, we can see an enemy battleship heading into open water. Let's see if I can engineer or find a position where I can provide fire on that battleship while remaining sheltered by the island. Okay, I've actually crept out a bit too far here, and I don't want to stop myself dead in the water to offer an easy target while I'm waiting for the ship to engage reverse. So let's just spin around this island and use that for cover and come back and try and find a new position. So look at the position of our friendly Miyogi. It'd be interesting to see the final scores to find out if he's actually shot at anybody, because from what I've seen on the mini-map through the battle, he's just circumnavigating the map. I could be wrong, who knows? We lose 2 destroyers in quick succession, which is enabling the enemy to close the gap in terms of number of ships remaining. And you will often see in battles people sacrificing their ships, chasing after personal damage scores. I like to review the replays of my battles to see what I can learn about my own gameplay. And a question I'm always asking myself, that I wish more people would ask themselves, is looking at any point in a battle, asking yourself, what are you doing for the team right now? Okay, here we go, take 2. It's actually a different battleship this time, but I need to be more careful about how I position for this one. Okay, this should be good about here. By the time the Kawachi comes out from behind that large landmass, this should be a decent position. I'm actually detected after that shot, so let's start reversing back in. And guys, it's safe to cap A now. Only 3 enemy ships left and we can see where they are on the mini-map. Okay, that's it then. Game over. Good job, well done guys. Okay, let's take a look at the final scores then. 35,000 damage with 66 shell strikes. Only 1 ship sunk, and we end up middling in terms of the team score. So there you go, a quick view of the Karlsruhe in action. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye, guys.